what's up guys, Decay Gaming, and today I want to talk to you about starting your new legacy, how to do it basically, the best setup and the best way of starting out in your new map.
Fuck me! We're under attack by some raiders here!
Watch your goddamn targets!
So what is a legacy? Well, a legacy is activated by completing the final mission of your leader. So by activating the final mission for your leader, you're basically telling the game that you want to complete the current game that you're playing. This final mission depends on what leader you selected, whether it's the builder, the trader, the sheriff, for example. If you complete this mission, and if you win the game, basically you'll have a cutscene. This cutscene will basically talk about what you've achieved for your playthrough, all that sort of stuff, and then the credits will roll, and that'll be the end of the game. And you go back to the main screen. The difference is that when you go back to that main screen, you are given a selection to make, and that selection is you can take through 3 survivors from your previous playthrough to your next legacy. So basically the new game that you're going to start. You start out, I believe it's on a random map. And you start out with just these 3 characters. There's no tutorial, and everything is basically back to square one again. But there are a few differences. So rewinding a little bit before we talk about the differences in the new map, what we want to talk about is what do we do before we select that final mission? Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to pre-decide in your head the 3 survivors that you want to take through to your new map. And there's a big reason why you want to do this, because those survivors contain backpacks, and those backpacks and all the equipment on these survivors get carried through to your new map. So you want to load these survivors up with the best gear that they can possibly carry to get through to basically this new campaign that you're going to start. So what things are you going to want to take with you? Well, the obvious things are going to be weapons, both melee and long range. So obviously you want the best long range you've got. I'm taking my 50 cal that I've got, some of the best ARs. Obviously you want the ones which have got the rare ammo, so you want stuff with 5.56, 7.62mm, shotgun rounds, that kind of stuff, any really high quality attachments that you want to keep, that sort of stuff. So after that, you want to look at stuff like textbooks, so that you can, when you get your new survivors in your base, in your new map, that you can train them up on some of the specific skills that you require for them, so whether it's electronics or whether it's mechanics, that sort of stuff. But basically the textbooks you're taking with you are stuff that your current survivors don't have, that you will need in your new map. Base mods, so for things that are specific to the workshop, to the farm, or to the to the hydroponics, that sort of stuff, which increases yields from both food, stuff that gives the command center more free outposts, which are really, really important. And then finally, a couple of things which are really important will be stuff like a tank of gas, because obviously when you start a new map, you end up with a vehicle with no gas in it. Some electronic parts, some chemical parts, stuff. These sort of things which are used to upgrade facilities in your base. And then last thing, which is really important, is extracts, some materials, whether it's food or fuel or medical supplies. But I generally go for materials so that you can start building up your new base much quicker. So if you've got 3 characters, that's 3 rucksacks, and there you go, you've got it nice and easy. And then that's it, you go out, complete your final mission, and then you start your new game.
This kind of speech doesn't come easy to me. Yeah, big surprise. But I am so goddamn proud of what we've done here. We stuck together and we built something that can last. And I say we can do it again, in the next town. And the one after that.
So you complete the final mission, you've survived, the 3 survivors that you bring with you, they're all kitted out, they've got the best traits, the best skills that you want, they're ready to go into the next map with you. What happens next? Well, the cutscene rolls, this finishes, and then it shows you what boon card you've got. For me, it's the trader boon card. This gives you 4,000 experience when you set up a new base. It also gives you a wandering trader straight away next to your base, so you can trade some vital supplies. Make sure your boon cards are selected so that you can use them in the new map, and then it's time to choose your survivors. These survivors will be the 3 that you've already kitted out with all the gear on their backpacks and the rucksacks of materials ready to build up your new base. You select those 3 survivors, then you click start new community, and that's it. It will give you an option, do you really want to do this, because you can actually still go back at this point and continue, but you don't want to do that because you're ready to go, and that's it, you start the new game.
And we're empty. Again.
So, whose turn is it to find more fuel?
Not me. Last time I almost got ripped apart by a feral. I have a better idea. We could settle down here instead of moving on.
So you've started your first legacy. The differences are kind of quite small really. Obviously you spawn in and there's no tutorial, just the 3 survivors that you brought from your previous campaign. The vehicle that you'll start with will have no gas, just like in the first time you played the game. If you've carried through a gas can from your previous playthrough, it makes life a little bit easier, but generally you won't spawn in too far away from your starting base. These starting bases are pretty much the same as the starting bases on each of the maps that you've played before. The one thing that I have noticed that is different is that the special infected zombies seem to be spawning in from the first day as opposed to sort of day 2 and day 3, so you'll be seeing ferals and screamers and juggernauts from pretty much day 1. There'll be quite a few hordes, and I find personally, although I can't confirm this, it's just a personal opinion, that the second playthrough of the legacies just seems a little bit more difficult. There are more zombies, playcasts are slightly more difficult in terms of the surrounding zombies that protect them are quite a lot more powerful. There's more of them, let's just say. Yeah, the game just seems a little bit less forgiving. More hordes on your base, the more noise you create, all that sort of stuff. And that's it guys, you've got your first legacy underway. Your 3 survivors are all kitted out with all the gear they wanted. You are absolutely 100% prepared, you know exactly what you're doing. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.